Good morning, Rob. One Strange Journey. And today I wanted to talk about what it's like to live RV life in a small town. As I've told you before, we're here in Greybull, Wyoming. It's like 1,500, 2,000 people. And we've been here for a while now, for about a year, unfortunately. I mean, it's not a bad place to be stuck, but didn't plan on staying this long. So anyways, want to discuss the pros, the cons, what life's really like when you live RV life in one of these small Midwest towns. Okay. All right, like I said, we've been here at this KOA in Greybull for about a year now. They have some long-term living area in the back, and we're getting ready to go through the winter. There's different ways of doing RV life. You can be more transient, or you can sometimes bog down in places, stay a little longer than anticipated. So anyways, let's discuss what it's like when you live RV life in a small town. Over here is where we stayed when we first got here. Here's the RV park, and you know, that's kind of a neat thing. This is a KOA right in the middle, right in the backside of the town. Literally, Main Street's just right down one of these roads. And here's the KOA. We were right there in that spot when we first got here. It's pretty sweet, just straight out here to the pavement. Usually a lot more lenient in these small towns on how they do things, but let's talk about that. One difference between when you get into a small town is everybody knows you're new. Hold on a second. One thing about these small towns, hello, is when you do roll into them, they know everybody that lives here. Even 2,000 people, they'll recognize you if you're a local, and they'll recognize you if you ain't a local. They can tell. They can have their guard up for a while when you're new into the small towns. But once you've been here for a while, you kind of get accepted into the community. Hello, morning. It's nice, you know, you do get that sense of community. In the big towns, you can live somewhere for 10 years and not even know your neighbor. Smaller towns, you don't get away with that. People lean on each other, they ask for favors. If you need help, there's plenty of people to help. Boy, there's enough dogs in this neighborhood. Hello. Rocky. Morning. I always prefer small towns. I don't mind the first few months of initiation of people giving you weird looks, wondering who you are. If you got California plates, be prepared to get the bird quite a few times. We finally got rid of those California plates, thank God. Got Montana plate, my truck registered and RV registered in Montana. And we just got our Subaru, paid it off, and got it registered here in Wyoming. So we can actually look like locals. It's pretty nice. You know, the thing about the houses, like in this town, is they all have so much character. You know, the small towns are not cookie cutter. They all have a different vibe. They all have a different personality. And it's definitely not like a big city. Yeah, another neat thing about these small towns is when they have festivals for all the different events, you know. You really get to learn a lot. If you have kids, they're gonna learn a lot about these cultures they wouldn't normally learn out of a book, because it wouldn't be in a book. Here's Main Street, right here in Greybull. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, that's how busy it is. How long did it take you to get across town today? How many stoplights you hit? Because we only got one. One stoplight right down there. And I'll tell you, it's one of the best stoplights I've ever seen. You pull up at that thing, you're waiting no more than 5 seconds for a green. Between the cultures and the people in these small towns, I love it. Hold on. Rocky's taking a dump. This dog backs up into weeds and goes out there. And there's been so many times where we've had issues, needed help, and you get that small town help. It's like when we first rolled into town and our truck was leaking. Thought for sure it was a blown head gasket. The mechanic thought it was a blown head gasket at first. Then he called me later and said, it's not a blown head gasket. You got a $1.50 rubber line that needs to be replaced, and that's it. How often do you get a mechanic calling you and telling you the problem is less worse than you thought at the beginning? I mean, that's the kind of small town, they care about their reputations. Big town, businesses, it's not nearly as important. It really boils down to the people and the culture. You think culture's been lost in this modern day world, but in these small towns, they still have the parades and the festivals. They still have the cultures. It's still like back in the day. It's really like stepping back in time. I've compared the neighborhood we live here to like the Wonder Years one, but you remember watching that back in the day with Arnold in it and everything? They still have cute little parks that aren't overrun by teenagers and thugs and druggies. Heck, in this town, I ain't never even seen a tweaker or a druggie. Coming from California, they were everywhere. I used to hate going to Sacramento. See my parents, you'd see people rolling around on the ground on the sidewalks, just so messed up. It was so depressing. I will do my best to stay in small towns for the rest of my life. Now let's talk about a few of the drawbacks about living in a small town. You are more limited on your services, your restaurants. This town, not always restaurants. This town here, 1,500 people, probably got 8 restaurants, and they're good restaurants. It's a touristy destination on the way to Yellowstone though. So the town before this, or the town before this was Conrad, literally had 1 restaurant. Conrad, Montana had 1 restaurant. So you are limited. You know, your grocery stores are gonna be smaller, prices might be higher. If you wanna go to Super Walmart, you might have a drive on you. You know, when it comes to mechanic shops and all the services, you're gonna be much more limited. Especially in an RV, you might not find an RV mechanic within 50 miles. That's the issue we had. There is trade-offs to living in a small town like that. You gotta check, you know, if you're getting up there on age or if you're accident prone, where's the nearest hospital? How far away is it? Look at this. Look at this house. How cool would that be? Buy something like that and restore it here. Live in a nice little small Wyoming town. Cute little tree-lined roads. I mean, that right there in California would be $1 million, easy. Maybe 2, depending on the neighborhood. In this town, I would say maybe 200, 150, depending on the condition. I would say 1885 would be my guess. If that kind of stuff's important to you, like my brother, he needs 8 different pizza restaurants to pick from. He needs an In-N-Out. He needs a Jack in the Box. He needs all that kind of drama. I don't. We've been here for a year now. We've been out to my daughter's restaurant once, Lisa's place she works at, nice Mexican restaurant. And I think we've hit the McDonald's twice on the way back from Cody. It was disappointing to say the least. I tell you what, if you haven't had McDonald's in a year and you go and have it, everything you thought it was, it's not. I don't know if they changed it. Maybe I'm just used to eating my hamburgers that are made of real meat. It's not the same. It'll depress you. Really not missing out from much. Get used to making your own food, grocery shopping, and eating healthier, because you ain't got the choice, number one. It can really be a good thing. Yeah, there's trade-offs to living in a small town. Depending on the person, it can be very simple. It's nothing you'll miss. If you're into nightclubs and all that, let's go this way, I guess. If you're like younger, 20s and all that, you're into nightclubs and dancing, whatever you guys are into, bars, definitely more limited that on a small town. The small towns, they have bars, but I ain't been in them. Yep. That's not my sort of thing, so I can't tell you much about how the bars are in a smaller town, but they look a little sketchier. Morning.
I like your little dog.
Thank you. You know, never been in none of these bars. I know the one here in Greybull says bikers welcome. I ain't got no problem with bikers, but I'm not a biker, so I don't know if I'd fit in very well. Anyway, so the nightlife's definitely a lot more limited, and choice of restaurants and grocery stores and shopping, definitely much more limited. We were at a grocery store yesterday, and there was a group of kids from Dartmouth University, somewhere in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, something up there. And they were whining about how they had 9 more days here. And one of the kids was crying that he didn't think they were going to find a Wendy's. You ain't going to find a Wendy's. We got A&W, it's open sometimes. And about 60 miles away, you can hit up the McDonald's. You can get into Cody, there's some stuff. But around here, not so much. Here's our little police station. And we're coming up on downtown. Okay, town hall, police station, public works, all that right in one. Anyways, so there's definitely trade-offs, but depending on the kind of person you are, it might not be stuff you're interested in anyways. For us, definitely not. Another thing that's important when you live in a small town is you got to always be prepared. Buy more of whatever you need, especially in RV life. We still get Amazon, so it's not like you're secluded. And here in this town, it takes 3 or 4 days to get your Amazon. But when it comes to food and stuff, always be prepared. Have extras on hand, because you're not going to just run down and be able to get certain things. But 90% of stuff you still have no problem getting. If you need caulking for your RV, no problem. You need an RV hose? That could be a problem. You're going to be ordering that off Amazon? It's going to take 3 or 4 days to get it. We don't have a Camping World around the corner. So definitely part of living in a small town is you always got to be prepared. Make sure you have extras. I have extra water pumps. You know, with harsh winters coming up, especially, you always want to make sure you have extras on hand. Definitely here, you can see we're the hub to get to Yellowstone. So we get a lot of RVers through here. I'm just trying to think of everything that we carry extras on. With wintertime coming, that's probably the one time I make sure I have extras. Be aware your bank's probably not going to have a local branch and all that kind of stuff. And like I said earlier, you're going to be much more limited on hospitals and stuff. Always got to be a little bit more prepared. Be one step ahead when you live in a smaller town. Part of being prepared is you got to always be flexible. Sometimes you can't have things the way you want them. Sometimes you have to make do in smaller towns. There's so many benefits. People will help you out though. But let's go down the back street and we'll cross over. You got to maintain flexibility. Understand stuff's going to happen. And you have to make it work sometimes. Here's the back side of Greybull. This is basically the train yards here. You'll find these old grain mills or whatever those things are in all these small towns from here to Montana. You know, don't be afraid to connect with these locals. These locals are going to have all the cool spots to go. All the cool things. That last video I made of us going to Gooseberry Badlands, wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for a local. It's pretty hard to find on the old Google. Google don't know everything. So definitely don't be afraid to connect with the locals, because they won't have a problem getting to know you either once they know you're not a dipstick. But they do have their dipstick meters on, so. Look at this old. Now, how cool is this? We're in an alleyway downtown. Let's cut straight across and we'll go down this alleyway. Yeah. Wonder what, oh, it says Coca-Cola. Can you see it up there? I don't know if it's jaywalking, but yeah, let's go. Definitely don't be afraid to connect with the locals. They're going to tell you where all the good restaurants are, all the cool spots to go, hang out, all the good swimming holes are at. Wherever there's something to do, they'll know, because they've been stuck here for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I always find it interesting to talk to people that have lived in the same town forever, because we've been so transient. You really start to notice all these little small houses and pick out the ones you like. I love this little house on the corner here. It's too close to downtown, see? We get trains here. They bang around, make a lot of noise. So I don't think I can handle it. Oh boy, let's go across the street. He looks like he could escape. Run. Across the street's got dogs too. Those little guys. Killers. Jeez. So many dogs in small towns, let me tell you. It's one thing I've noticed. All right, Gertie, go. All right, let's get past here. Jeez, what a drama. And there's more up there. So many dogs in a small town. If you don't like dogs, probably not good to go to small Midwest town. They are everywhere. They are barking for places I don't even see them. So anyways, we've been to big towns, we've been to small towns, been RV lifing for 2.5 years now or so. And I definitely would pick small towns every time. You're going to find people that are going to ride or die with you. They're going to stand by you. They're going to make sure you don't go hungry. They're going to make sure you don't go cold. You're going to make sure you stay alive. They give a crap. And they're going to ask for help once in a while too. So don't be a dick. They're still kind of stuck. A lot of these towns are still stuck in the past. And that's nice because I'm sick of the future. Anyways, so I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about RVing in a small town and what it's like. It's probably not a real popular subject, but if you do get stuck in one, it's not the end of the world. Appreciate what the town does have, not what it doesn't. You might not have that little service where they drive around and get your food and bring it to your house. Might be lacking in some areas, but they do make it up in other areas. If you have stayed in any really cool little small towns, drop a comment below and let me know which ones. So far, my favorites have been Greybull, Wyoming here, and Conrad, Montana. Have been really cool ones. This is cute. Remember when you were a kid and you had a little sandbox you play with your trucks in side of your house? Just seeing that kind of brought me back. There we got the mailman that go door to door. Love that. Let's go left. Just love these cute little houses. Every house has so much personality. I'll shoot all the houses. Old school backyard. Found something to do with the old CDs, I guess. That's unique in this town. Not unique in this town, but in some of these more northern towns is they all have alleyways to get to the houses and dumpsters. And you can pull up and use any of these dumpsters. And they're not just for certain houses. This alleyway with all these dumpsters. In California, they keep the dumpsters under lock and key. There was just a post the other day in our little town about how the post office took their garbage cans out from outside because they were sick of people using them. There's literally nowhere free to throw trash away yet. So if you're traveling, your car's full of stuff, there's nowhere to throw it. And then they get mad when they got litter all over the place. A little cutie pie here. This one I always say has the Florida vibe. See how it's got the pelican out front? And it's got one color you won't see nowhere else in these neutral colored houses.
Ready?
All right, come on, let's keep going. Sit by the chickens. Hey, got a cat that lives across the street from our RV park. His name's Elvis. He ain't scared no dogs. Keep going, Gertie, keep going. Gertie, let's go. Gertie, you leave that kitty alone. He ain't scared of you. Sign you seen an old El Camino, huh? Pretty cool. It's out of mid-80s, super sport. Really neat. This corner has some of the neatest house, some of my favorites. Our little neck, you got that guy there. Look at this house right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. You got this old house here. Really well kept, you know? They had a really cute dog in their yard last time. All right, come on. Love that. Beware dog. Even like this one over here, let me show you. Here's one with the white picket fence. If you're into that sort of thing. How cute is that? Huh? And right, you can see right down there, that's Main Street. There's the Overland gas station. I have some pumpkins in there. Yep, there is some pumpkins. There you go. Yep, look at all of them. There we grew pumpkins. This is a, yeah, we got that one huge one. Another street full of dogs. There. Some cute houses here. Look at this tree lined one. Jim back there, look at that old 67 Mustang, I think. Look at that, look at the old driveway. Old Mustang hidden in the back. Look at him. He just wants to play. Oh. Look at their flower arrangement out front. Two more houses. I can't help myself. Oh, kitty. See him? Meow. Anyways, look at these tree-lined roads, beautiful houses in Greybull. How perfect is that? I don't see how anyone could ever talk crap about that. It's beautiful. Right here in a little tree-lined street. There you go, little deer. It's okay, we're not coming that way, buddy. Come on, Jen, this way. It's that time of year they're doing the bonfires, or burning all the leaves and branches. We're going up to the back way home. This back sidewalk takes us right into the back of the RV park. Oh, the deers are together again.
Oh, nice.
See if I can show you. Right there. Yeah, I don't know, these phones. Good for some things, zooming's not one of them. Look at that beautiful RV with the ladder sitting on it. Right there, there we are. That's us. Almost home. Look at this, like right in the middle of town, big old farm house in a farm field. Look at that. Old pickup truck. Looks like about a 57? 57, 58? And we got the Greybull River right out there. Jen's got to go pee, so she's cutting our trip short. All right, I appreciate you watching. Took you on a little bit of a tour of my little town that we're in. Told you my take on staying in a small town during RV life and how peaceful it can really be. Appreciate you watching. If you could like, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. I appreciate it, and see you next week. Bye.